concessionaires of and Jeba are paying about $50 million US every year for that concession.
Wow.
Good. Now, it is another issue entirely to look at it from the point of when they signed the deal in 2013, dollar was about 160 officially.
Right.
Today, we know how much dollar is. Where are they going to make that money back?
Where?
You understand? I mean,
Right.
for me to put down an investment of $50 million, they don't also forget that they didn't just put in an investment of $50 million annually for their concession. They have also increased capacity from barely 400. In fact, as of 2013, Kanji Dam was down completely for maintenance. 2013, 2014. But today, Kanji, in fact, it is the network operators that are asking Kanji to drop load. Now, if whatever they are producing, whatever investment they've made, they are not able to make that money back, right? What is now the incentive, or what will be the whole
It's bad for business, and investors might not want to come back in.
Good. So while some people want us to look at, or some people want us to sit down and just focus on the argument of the PP that has been signed with the Gencos,
right?
That people are conveniently trying to take us away from what the argument should be.
What should the argument be?
If I sign an agreement with you to give me 8,000 liters of water, right?
Right.
What the argument should be is, what is happening to the transport vehicle that brings the water to where I'm going to use it? What happens to my own capacity to use up whatever it is I am taking from you? That is where the argument should be.
Not the terms of that contract.
The terms of that contract is, the only time when the terms of the contract, for instance, now let me put it back to you and our listeners again.
Yeah.
For Kenji and Jeba, I dropped $50 million US in 2014, right?
Right.
But because you cannot take more than a particular volume from me per time, because you cannot use more than a particular volume per time, I'm not able to make more than half or whatever it is that I've invested. So what is the purpose of the agreement that I signed with you? Meanwhile, don't also forget, this is something that a lot of people don't even understand. For any particular point in time, even the PPE at no time been stuck to. The total volume of money that gets to Gencos at the end of the day is less than 30% of whatever the discos make. There was at no time, that's at the invoice value. There has been no time that the complete 100% invoice value power generated by the Gencos has been paid for.
No time at all.
No time. In fact, during this COVID period, it was as bad as 10% being paid.
Oh my.
Good. So whoever says that we should sit down and look at the PPE is not being fair. What we should be looking at is, everybody came on board in 2013, right?
Right.
What is the performance yardstick? The discos have been able to ramp up, the Gencos have been able to ramp up their generation capacity, available capacity.
Right.
That if you do like this, they are ready, send it. They will ramp up their generation and it will get you 8,000 megawatts thereabouts, right?
Right.
The vehicle that we take has not changed since then, significantly. Now, don't also forget that I'm not even talking about the fact that the tanker is leaking now. Energy losses. When the Gencos give you 1 megawatt, by the time it gets to where it's going to, it has dropped by value of about 30% or thereabout. We're not even talking about that yet. You understand?
Right.
So if the focus of our argument is on the PPE side, I think we are being disingenuous. I think we are not being truthful to that conversation.
Right.
We should be able to look at the whole value chain and have that conversation. Now, let me put it this way. As our 2014 customer enumerated in Nigeria, that's the total number of customers that are connected to national grid, right? The 2014 figures gave about 7.9 million customers. Okay?
In the entire country, 7.9 million.
In the entire country, 7.9. Now, look at the figure over the years. As at quarter four reports, right? NERC, who happens to be the regulative body, says that we now have about 10 point something. So what we are saying in effect is that we've just added 2 million in the last 6-7 years. How true is that? Don't also forget that economies and whatever product, right, is a game of numbers.
True, very true.
More people The more people that we have, the less tariff that we will get. But the discourse over the years have been recently. The discourse have been stuck with 8.5 million official figure to do their calculations. Who is asking questions on that? Now let me go a bit further again. Recently, the spokesperson for the discourse mentioned on a live TV program that we have over 20 million Nigerians connected to the national grid, but out of which only 40 million are registered. Now let me ask you: is there any bank that doesn't know the number of customers that they have? Do you have any bank that doesn't know the number of customers that they have?
It's impossible.
They have the exact figure. In fact, they have your KYC. They know where to reach you if they need to reach you.
Right.
Today your mandate changes. They know.
What is the end game in not disclosing the appropriate number of customers on their network? I mean, what could be there? What is behind it?
I'm even here to add the other part to that argument so that we can bring it all together.
Yes, let's add the other part then.
As of 2013, the total general, the average uptake of the disco is about 3,000 megawatts. Today, it is about 3,200 megawatts. 6 years, 7 years, it'll be 7 years in November. I'm very certain a lot of people will not some sector of people will not be happy for me saying this. But you see, those are the facts that are on ground, and I believe that the facts that we should work with.
Tayo, what does that mean? That in 6 years?
It basically means that, yes.
Go on, Tayo. Go on.
It basically means that in 6 years, while a subsector of the power sector has maybe not performed optimally as we want.
Right.
I mean, if you say we have 13,000 installed capacity, they should be giving us 30,000 installed capacity. But my brother, what would be their reason for giving us 30,000 megawatts capacity if the vehicle that will take it cannot take all the produced all the products that we produced?
Yeah.
So we have a situation where there was even a recent time when there was an argument between the discos and transmission companies. You are the weak link. No, you are the weak link. So who is the weak link? If transmission can do 7,000 megawatts on book as we have put it, right? How come the discos are not taking up at least 6,000 megawatts out of it? Now, that is one end of the issue.
Right.
The other end of the issue for me, part of the argument that I have is this. Part of the major tasks that the discos had when they came on board, right? One of the KPIs is the fact that customers, the metering gap should be reduced drastically. As of 2015, 2013 when they are coming on board, the metering gap stands officially at about 52%. Today, metering gap is about 67%.
5%.
So, 67. It has increased. There are a lot more people that are connected to the grid but don't have meters.
Oh, don't have meters. Tayo, I mean, you have taken loss to the issue of metering, which is what we have here. And what I'm going to ask at this juncture is, who is responsible for metering electricity consumers? Because that argument has been back and forth. The consumers themselves, are they supposed to pay for these meters, or the discos are supposed to provide these meters for them? Who is responsible for it?
All right. Let me answer you like this. As at takeover of privatization, it was a sole responsibility of the discos to provide meters for customers. All right. But you see, over the years, when we look at their books and their willingness and their capacity, right, to provide meters for customers, we realize that a lot of other tones, a lot of issues. Some people say they are not ready because they are gaining more from estimated billing, And even though I don't want to enter that argument whether they're gaining more from estimated billing or not. What Nigerians want is metering. Give me a meter.
Right.
We looked at the books, we looked at everything, and we realized that if we continue like this, the discos will continue to tell you that they don't. In fact, that has been their song from day one. They don't have money. Initially, it was dollar increased. Okay, but that said what? And my organization was at the forefront of that conversation for a long time. Sorry, excuse me.
Right.
Was at the forefront of that conversation for a very long time. And the recommendation that we made is, okay, you know what? We call this thing power sector reform. Basically, what it means is that if you try something and it's not working, you try another method.
Right.
That was when we came up and said, you know what, we came up with a recommendation. I said, why don't you bring in independent metering service providers, which is what we have today as the maps.
Right.
No? Even though it is not, the present implementation of MAP is not what we recommended. It's very easy. Federal government has 40% average on all the discos. Private sectors have 60%. These private sectors that is a responsibility to provide meters have not been able to. Why don't you cut out 10% out of these things? 5% from the discos, 5% from federal government, right?
Right.
And invite sheriff to come up with meters. Right?
Right.
Now, because you're also a stakeholder, you can provide your meters and walk away and say, you know what, this is a 10-year investment. So if a customer is installed a meter, for instance,
right,
you already know that your investment is guaranteed for a period because you're also a stakeholder. So when they are doing their ratio sharing from the money, you know that you are taking your own share as well, right? But unfortunately, in the wisdom of NERC that eventually, pushed for, implemented the independent metering service scheme, they decided that the same discos are not able to provide meters for people are the ones that will regulate the maps that are coming. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of how 108 companies applied for a no license of no objection that they were given, and only out of that 108, only 22 companies were assigned to the discos to serve as map. What are we saying? Are we saying we are serious about implementing an independent metering service provider at that point?
22 companies.
Only 22 companies. In this country, we have companies that produces meter from the plates. They design their plate by themselves, right, to the final product. But guess what? The discos come around and tell you that the standard or the quality of those meters cannot be vouched for, so therefore they are not going to patronize them. Who does that? Why don't you give them standards and say, you know what? If you install meters for people and it gets burned in 6 months, it's on you.
Yeah.
The minimum guarantee
you replace
I
want
want from you is 1
year.
Right.
Right.
You replace it free of charge. The minimum guarantee we want from you is 1 year, right? They didn't do that. Rather, they want us to just say in China, foreign exchange, For how long are we going to continue like that? For as long as we continue to have that kind of mindset, we continue to have a challenge in the power sector.
So, Taya, we've talked about the discos in terms of distribution. We've talked about them in terms of metering as well. Now, these two conversations we've had thus far has been negative for the discos. Now, let's talk about tariff. What's your thought about the tariff hike? Is that the solution to our problem?
Now, initially, the discos kept saying that they wanted a cost-reflective tariff. Cost-reflective. You see, this is a personal argument. I don't want you to agree with me, but like their spokesperson has used on 1 or 2 programs that I've listened to, he compared them to somewhere that sells bread.
Okay.
Right? You know, the bakery will produce bread.
Yeah.
Then a vehicle will convey it from the bakery to the end seller. Now, in that value chain, who determines the price? Are you with me?
I'm with you completely.
The producer should determine the price. But you see, in the wisdom of the Nigerian power sector, we turn it upside down and say the discos should recommend pricing. No problem. But you see, since the discos have been recommending prices, right? We've had several tariff increases over the years. What are the results? Now, because they cannot point to any particular result. I mean, for instance, I just quoted a figure of how much the average distribution figure that they have per year, right? Now, they now turn around and say that they want a service reflective tariff. What does service reflective tariff mean?
What does it mean?
It means that because you are richer than I am, because you are more economically buoyant than I am, because you live in an affluent place, we can decide to focus on you and give you more power.
Is that a bad thing?
Then what happens to PCs? Absolutely, it is a bad thing. Don't forget, right, that if you have an option to switch your disco,
right,
maybe it won't be a bad thing.
Okay.
Right.
I
mean, if you are using a particular telecommunication line today and they're charging you an exorbitant price, you can turn around tomorrow and say, okay, I'm dumping you, I'm going to another one because you get a better deal there.
Right.
Good. If you now say because my estate is an affluent and you agree with a couple of people, which for me personally, I call them selfish. right? To say, pay me 15 naira per kilowatt hour because I can afford it.
Yeah.
Now, you see, there's an argument that they always put up that if you are using your generator, you are spending higher. For me, that argument is faulty.
How?
That I use generator in the first instance is because the national grid does not supply me enough. It's not able to fulfill my needs. That's why I have to go back to an alternative, right?
Right.
And why are you now saying using that as a why are you using that as a yardstick
Right.
for you to build more? So it's a faulty thing. Now let's even say, okay, but it's entirely right. I granted an interview recently, and one of the things I said is this: the discos have given us myriads of excuses since they came on board. Let us give them the service reflective tariff.
Okay.
Right? So that they can now hang themselves completely. Because we now wonder what excuses they will give us eventually. And again, don't also forget that, see, the economy, we also have to also realize that power sector is a subsector of the Nigerian economy. Right. There is nothing more to do. We are taking the larger economic situation into perspective. Where we find ourselves in a situation where COVID-19 has grounded our economy almost into a halt. We're already complaining about challenges that we're having economically. Now, you know what, say you want to come up with service reflective tariff so that you will do a band. The question is this: I don't have any problem with you doing all those, but that is where the secret will now be leaked.
What secret, Tayo? What secret are you referring to?
There's a question we've been asking, and I'm still waiting for either the NERC or the discos themselves to answer those questions. What is their level of investment since they came on board? In your area, has there been, we just spoken about metering. In your area, have you seen, I want to throw this open. How many new transformers has been installed in Lagos since 2013?
That the people did not buy themselves, though.
I'm not saying how many transformers that have been installed in Lagos that the people bought, that the discos bought. How many? Today, I have discos that they have backlog of transformer requests for 3-4 years. I know a particular disco that has not bought one single transformer. In fact, if you call them, you need a transformer, they will just say, "Oh, yo," because the list is as long as how many days. So, if they now claim that they are getting the service reflective tariff, at that point, when your transformer goes bad, are they going to take it away and keep you in darkness?
Okay.
That is what they are doing presently. They will take it away and tell you to pay 1 month, pay 2 months, 1 month out of your bill and the present month before they can return your transformer to you. Is that how a service provider should behave? Unfortunately, I don't see. Again, for my argument, pro-argument for the discos is this: they are businessmen, right?
Right.
They are out to game the system as much as they can. They are capitalists. What is our regulatory commission doing? Our regulators, they're supposed to be the referee in this game.
Right.
If me and you were playing a soccer game and I give you rough tackle and the referee look at me and smile or just turn a blind eye, right?
Yeah.
And I continue to do it, a point will come that you two will look at it and say, where is the fairness in this game? Let me do my own back. Immediately you do your own back, you receive a yellow card. So how fair are the regulators?
Yeah, Tayo, let's go on a break. When we return, we'll bring Lagos into this conversation, and we'll dive even deeper into this particular conversation that we have, because I want you to answer that question that we're asking this morning first, before Lagos, jumps on it. And that question is: can we ever attain power sufficiency with the current status quo that we have right now in the country? Join us again. Tayo Adegbenle joins me via Skype this morning from Power NG. I'm Sheriff Quadry. We're back in a moment.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Of course, it's Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And yes, you're welcome back to the program. I am Sheriff Quadry Lagos. Thank you for joining us. We'll be taking comments from YouTube and Facebook in a moment. We've got comments that have dropped on WhatsApp as well this morning. Yeah, Twitter is also bubbling with comments, and the phone lines are ringing off the hook. 829. Tayo, thank you again for joining us. What we're going to do is this, right? I'm going to quickly just take one call, that I'll come back to you to attempt to answer that question after everything we've said this morning on the show. Let's see who we've got here. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Yeah, you are doing a wonderful job. Hello?
Thank you. Go on, please.
Yeah. Good morning to the guests. My name is Elias from Blackwell. Hello, are you with?
Go on, please. We're waiting for you.
Okay. I just want to ask the guest about what is it. You asked him about meter. And initially, what we heard is that meter is free. To acquire a meter is free. Now, what do you do when you go to NEPA office, or when you go to EKEDC office and you acquire 3 feet of meter for 100,000 or more than 100,000, and at the end of the day, after exhausting the energy or the current that came with the meter, within some weeks, the meter pack up, and you don't have light anymore, and you write to them, they will tell you the meter has not been programmed. Till now, after almost 3 months, no light.
Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Tayo, would you like to respond to that?
All right. The caller, number one, I'm very sure that the 3-phase meter from EKEDP is not up to 100,000. That is one. Two, I think I understand your situation. Please do me a favor. Send a mail, right, with your details to powerupnigeria@gmail.com. We will try and resolve that issue for you. You are not the only one that have that kind of problem. We have a number of other people, but then just send that mail and we'll see what we can do about it before the end of today.
Let's speak with Patrick. Hi, Patrick. Good morning to you.
Hey, Quadry, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to our guest. Well, good morning. You asked a question. Can we ever? Yes, we can. The only way we can is, since the government and the regulation agencies have failed us, is for the consumers to take their destinies in their hands. Now, several years ago...
By doing what exactly?
For 10 years, I went to the NEPA office. I told them to come and disconnect their cable from my apartment. For 10 years, I didn't use the service of this electrical company. So if we have 1 million subscribers go out of, just do what exactly I did, to say that, you know what, we don't want your cables, come and disconnect it. If they are collecting 100 naira from us monthly, from 1 million, that's 100 million that they have lost. When they know that they are losing such a huge amount of money, I bet you, even the government, every one of them will sit together. Because you and I, all of us as citizens,
right,
have sat down so docile and waiting for America or Ghanaians or Cameroonians to come and arrange things in our favor, it's not going to happen. I did for 10 years.
Thank you, Patrick, for calling. Oluwafemi joins us right now from Aja. Hi, Oluwafemi, good morning to you.
I'm fine. Taiwo Oluwafemi is my name again from Aja.
Welcome.
To be precise.
Welcome.
Chief Quadry, I really, really appreciate what you're doing. But there's one thing I need to ask Tayo.
Yes, please.
When they were signing the agreement, they look at the agreement before taking the agreement in. Because from now, Tayo is trying to prove that the problem is not from them. But if you are taking up anything and you did not look at your agreement very well before jumping into it, you have your own part in it. Because most Nigerians don't know all this. He has given us with and yes, this is what is happening. But the main thing is they are not giving us what they ought to give us.
Right.
Which is still the problem, and we are still going to face it. And the only solution to it, there are many problems when we go into this powering of a thing. Because in my area, as I speak, I have 3 lines on the compound. 2 is working, 1 is not working. And the problem is just a minor thing.
Right.
Just for them to look at the cable and connect. I've gone to NEPA several times to make complaint. They won't. One of their guys told me about this. What I'm saying is about 2 months that I should bring him money for him to go and connect me. So most of these things, we just have people we regulate, we talk all this, we don't work on it.
Right. Thank you, Femi. Thank you. Taya, let me come to you right now, and let's treat the questions one after the other. Let's start with Patrick's comment about Nigerians taking this up themselves. How far will that measure go, really?
Let me put this out at this point. I need to also put the perspective out that I'm not here to speak for any of the discos, any of the operators. I am only here to speak as a consumer advocate. That is 1. 2, I love what Patrick said. Very interesting proposition. But I recall that as far back as 2015, my organization has asked for something like this. But you see, this is where you see where the problem is. The people that you say that they should remove their wires are the same sort of people that are going at the back to go and sign premium power agreements. So, many Nigerians, my experience then when we called for this, it was very simple. 3 months, no Nigerians should pay their bills until we see marked improvement, right?
Right.
But unfortunately, you see a lot of people calling to say, no, if they don't have lights, so it is not. You see, part of the issue is even the consumers themselves. I would rather go with my, elite friends that can pay 50 naira per kilowatt hour and have 50 hours of light or 24 hours of light per day, right? Than go with the popular Nigerians that are demanding for changes in this thing. And let me also say this,
right? Because
I'm sure the stakeholders, operators are listening in on this program. Let me state it clearly.
Yeah.
Nigerians don't have any problem paying for the powers they consume. All they are asking for basically is, first of all, improve the quality of the service. Give me a meter so that if my budget for the month is 1 naira, once I buy that 1 naira on the meter, I'm good. I will know whether to remove my generator and my freezer or whatever from the network.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Hey, if my budget is 1,000 naira, let me be able to spend 1,000 naira. But not that you will not give me light for half of the month, and you will now give me a bill of 10,000 naira. So the rate you give me 24 hours light, that means you'll be giving me a bill of 50,000 naira.
Tayo, can we ever attain power sufficiency in Nigeria?
To answer your question, yes, we can. And we've also come up with a number of recommendations for each of the sectors. But you say the first level that we have to take up with is that the government needs to be serious about their mission. The government needs to stop listening to the people that are benefiting from the present insufficiency.
You gave a background to the context I painted when I was opening up this show. 5 years after the UK started generating power, we started. This is 2020. That was 1800s. This is 2020. You are still hopeful that we can attain power sufficiency, Tayo?
If I'm not hopeful, I will not be at the forefront of this battle. By the grace of God, the as of representative ad hoc committee that is doing investigation by Wednesday and Thursday, I'll be there again with my suit and my notes and whatever, and with all the addendums and all the recommendations we made, we can drop it again on their front,
right? And
let us see how we can go ahead and make changes. My brother, one of the biggest fears that I have is not just for myself. I'm old. I'm above 40. I'm signing out of Nigeria. But what about my children that are just starting out in their life? Are they going to come up and start facing these kind of challenges? The least those children will meet, right, is that somebody spoke up when it mattered. I don't make money from the power sector. I don't buy, I pay my bills. So I don't have any problem, right? But let us, this is our country, for God's sake. If all of us get out to go to Canada, then who is going to fix this country?
I wonder.
Basic regulatory, like for instance, part of the recommendation that my organization gave to the RFI committee, presidential committee, is that anybody that wants to be the regulator, that wants to be the chairman of the regulator, should have shown track record of interest and investment in that thing. We want to know what you are thinking. We want to know what your mindsets are. We want to know how you plan to solve this problem. So the next person that's going to be next NRC chairman, don't be surprised if they ask like 3 or 4 of them to come to the floor of the National Assembly to make presentations to Nigerians on how they, and I will keep saying this. The moment the regulator, the referee is strict in the game and is fair in the game, trust me, all the investors, so-called investors in the discos and Gencos, they will stand at attention.
What do you mean by the moment the regulator is fair in the game? Is NEC not being fair currently?
If the rule of the engagement says that you must complete your customer enumeration in 10 days, right? Don't shift grants for them. I will give you an instance. Last year, October, NRC grandstanded and said 8 discos will take their license. We will do that. My brother, what have you heard about
Nothing.
Oh. If they slam hammer on one of them, other ones will shape up. And again, I'm going to call for this. Let us audit the discos. Their books are not clean. I don't care. I'm sure after this, I'm going to receive a lot of phone calls. I'm going to receive a lot of time. You don't know what you're saying. It doesn't matter. I'm speaking as a consumer.
Right.
How can federal government with 40% stake in a disco have only one representative on board of directors? What is the weight of one person in about 9 people against federal government's 40% stake in a disco? Tell me.
Again, Tayo, doesn't this underscore the argument of who signs contracts on behalf of the federal government? I mean, this must have been part of, the negotiation as to the ownership and the representation on the board.
Absolutely. But again, before we proceed, yes, give them the service reflective tariff, but why don't they wait till after we finish the auditing and we see where the money is coming from? A disco in this country bought a CRM software for 2 million euros, my brother. 2 million euros. It's an open secret. The CEO was boasting about it. Projects that were not implemented, they will release money for it. And they will come out to tell us that there is no money. You should give us service reflective tariff. Until they clean up their own stable, they should leave us alone, please. Let us do the audit and come back around.
You were quite hopeful a moment ago. But then with what you have said now, Tayo, it doesn't look like we ever gonna get this if we're not serious with the discourse from your submission, this last submission right now, with what is currently going on with the discourse. It doesn't look like we're going anywhere. But you're hopeful. Taya, just hold on. Let me take some calls, right? Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who am I speaking with?
Attain, calling from Ogun State, sir.
Attain, Taya is also on Skype. Talk to us. We're listening to you.
Your guest in the studio is trying to cover up for some people. I don't know why.
How do you mean?
I'll just ask him one question, one straight question.
Okay.
If Nigeria was his own private company, will he have spent $16 billion US, not 16 billion naira, to do what he said they used that money for? And again, the type of agreement they signed, the government of Israel signed. If Nigeria were to be its own private company, will he advise them to sign such a contract? What will help us in this country? This way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for calling me. Olatunji joins us right now. Hi, Olatunji. Good morning to you. Olatunji, are you there? We can't hear you, unfortunately. We'll have to let you go. Let's see who else we've got here. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Daniel. I'm calling from Surulere.
Welcome, Daniel.
Ubana. Tayo, thank you very much for educating me. I feel well educated today. Though I have a problem
Yeah.
with the way you over-tidied up Obasanjo's end. 16 billion was a lot. Nothing was done. It was all over the dailies at that time.
It was a lot.
And Elumelu had things to say. Somehow that guy was shut down. He just kept quiet all of a sudden. That is one. Then, concerning the agreements that were signed, you don't just sign agreements based on planned increment that will not come. If loads of funds are now, Nigeria is being asked to pay so much, then we should also transfer it. And lastly, for me,
right,
NEPA gave me ridiculous bills since the beginning of the lockdown. I've been cut off, and I still don't have light, and I've refused to attend to them until I have it prepaid. Thank you.
Thank you. Sunday joins us right now. Hi, Sunday. How is the corridor this morning?
Korea is fine and cool. Thank you very much.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone in the studio.
All right.
I think my own submission is I think the PACN sector is totally, I would say they are totally scam. Let me just put it that way, they are totally scam. So you will be the one to provide, they've not even for once gotten us transformer. We will be the one to buy transformer, we will be the one to buy the pole, we will be the one to buy the so-called cable. At the end of the day, they will start giving us estimating a crazy bill. You can imagine, okay, what happened of recent with our our transformer got spoiled, and they came and take it off and from our place,
right.
And they are still asking us to pay some money for them to restore another transformer. You can imagine all kind of they just I don't really understand what's really going on. And it's totally messed up. I think we need to we Nigerians, we just need to stand up and stop all this mess, because they are taking us for granted. What's the meaning of all this?
Right.
Thank you. That is my contribution.
Thank you, Sunday. Let's see who we've got here. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning to you. What's your name?
Hello?
What's your name? We can hear you. What's your name?
Hello?
Oh, you can't hear us. We're going to take another call. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Tayo, good morning.
Good morning. Go on.
Yeah, I want to say something. For me, I will say NEPA, their corruption is too high. If you will ask me, I will say that the government should set a special ESCC to focus on NEPA alone before we can get to the root of the solution.
Right.
In my area, there was a time that was during that Fashola, we had problem with transformer. They were asking us to contribute money. We were actually contributing the money until somebody just came in, just back in. We told the person, this is what we are doing. The person said no. He just called, he wrote an email to Fashola. Fashola ordered NEPA to give us a brand new transformer. What we got was that's the Kumbo transformer. We rejected it the first time. The second time they brought another transformer, we rejected it. The third time, before they now discovered that there was somebody that knew what is new and what is fake.
Yeah.
Before they now gave us the brand new one. You see, if NEPA is too corrupt. We're even talking about police. Police is not corrupt.
Yeah.
NEPA is worse than any other setup in this country.
Power holding.
I think we should do something about that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Kennedy has been on the line for a while now. Kennedy, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm very happy, and I have to talk this morning. This your disco. What do you call it?
Yes.
They always shit us in this country too much, even in our own area. Many sites, new sites. We are the one that will buy pole, cable, transformer, even bring the labor to come and fix everything for us.
Right.
They will go and meet them to come and connect us with their grid or what they call it. They will still ask us to bring money, like 500,000, before they can connect us. And later they will start bringing the bill, just making money unnecessarily. What are we paying for? If they cannot fix poles, transformer, everything for us, what is wrong with this country? We are tired. all these government professors or what they call them, I don't know what's wrong with them.
Thank you.
Please, if there's anything you can do for us,
Thank
we'll
you.
be very grateful.
Thank you, Kennedy. Let's look at Peter. Peter is in Shomolu. Hi, Peter. Good morning to you. How is Shomolu?
Good morning, Mr. Quadry, and good morning to Tayo. I want to ask this question, please. Though I'm still waiting to hear those who signed on behalf of the government, I would also like to know the names of the directors of the Gencos, Discos, and Trancos, whatever we call them. Because we really want to know whether we are not having triplets who are eating from the same plate here. That the government, the Discos and Gencos, they are all the same thing, and they are eating from us. And finally, what should be our stand? I mean, the consumers here, in the absence of prepaid meters, and also in the absence of the capping of their estimated bill up till now. Like this is, for me, the NARC, I think, is a part of the Discos. Otherwise, they would have protected us. So in this case, what do consumers do in the absence of prepaid meters and capping of the estimated bill? They should tell us what to do because we are tired. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I just need Tayo's advice.
Okay.
Yeah, I run a shop in a shopping complex where we have our own transformer.
Okay.
So at the end of the month, we have to share bill because we don't have prepaid meters. And we requested for prepaid meters. They said we can't have prepaid meters on the transformer, the type of transformer that we have.
Yeah.
Unless we make the transformer public. So we've written a letter to them. They haven't responded. They've not since last year. They keep, I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know. So I don't know.
All right. Okay.
What can we do about it?
Okay. Taya will attempt that. We lost him temporarily. Hello. Good morning to you.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. My name is Anthony.
Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this discussion.
It's good to have you.
I've had several fights with ECO regarding their. To me, I call them fraud because I cannot, for the life of me, believe that after acquiring prepaid meter for 2 years, that's 2 years ago, about 2 years ago,
right?
They are now sending crediting or debiting prepaid meters, and my tenants cannot even load electricity.
They cannot load.
They cannot load. They cannot even purchase electricity.
Oh, wow.
Because they said there is a debt in the meter. So I called them and I asked, how can there be a debt in prepaid meters? Because I personally paid the bills for all the tenants in the building because they refused to pay estimated bills. Now, they said it was the final bill that they are attaching to the meter. I'm like, what are you talking about? I got the meter in November, on the 9th of November.
Right.
So I was taking off your estimated billing by the 9th of November. How can you now tell me that you are giving me a final bill for December of 2 years ago, now 2 year later? Are you calculating bills with Abacus? Because you told me that you had reconciled the account. So does it take 2 years to reconcile an account? My tenants cannot currently, I think some of them cannot currently load electricity. They cannot even purchase because they are making them buy over and above what they were supposed to buy. That meters are owing.
Right.
So to me, ECO and the rest of them, they are fraudulent companies who are incompetent. The licenses should be taken from them. They are very incompetent and they are lining their pocket with Nigerian sweat and blood.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for talking to me.
Last 3 weeks.
Thank you for talking to me. Let's speak with Joker, and then we'll try and reach Tiger. Joker, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. My name is Mrs. Jo Konla.
Oh, Jo Konla. Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Welcome.
Thanks. I thank you, Sheriff, and then to Mr. Tayo. I think in the power sector, we have the most inefficient and ineffective system we're running in Nigeria. One cannot understand a system where you mandate the people to buy their transformer and then you make them sign an undertaking that the transformer belongs to you. I don't understand. And then in our area now, once it's about to rain, maybe a little breeze or something, the light goes off.
Yeah.
And then there's a new system they also develop. They say they'll give you 2 days on, 1 day off. 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. And I tell you, even the 2 days on is a mirage. They hardly give light. I'm really fed up. Part of the problem with electricity supply in Nigeria is leadership.
Right.
That sector needs to be investigated. A lot of fraudulent malpractices are going on in that sector, from the head leadership to the lowest. Even those who do inspection, those they send to go and carry out monitoring for them, the whole system is not working. And I don't know what the government is going to do about it. We complain about INEC, we complain about registration. The same thing is happening in the power sector. Can we have a system that is working? Yes. But this content system that we have, from the discos to the power generating sector to those measuring, you want to get a meter, you have issues. A lot of fraudulent activities that are going on in that sector. And sincerely, they need to be investigated. And certain corrections need to be done.
Right.
Thank you.
Ms. Jokola, thank you so much for talking to me. What we're going to do is, because we can't take all the calls, absolutely no, we can't take. But let's speak with Moses. I will try and reach out. Moses, hi, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Welcome.
First, one thing I want to say is this. Our mumu never do. Our mumu for this country, he never do. You see, I'm not talking to the Jenkos and I'm not talking to the discos. I'm talking to Nigerians as a whole. If you are not ready to fight, then you'll be in this mess, we all. Because the fact is this. Maybe somebody that said he disconnect himself for like 10 years. Nigerians are not ready to stand for their rights. They are not ready to stand. I don't ask them to fight for everything.
Right.
But there are things that we don't take. There are things that a normal person will not take. It's only in Nigeria that somebody will bring estimated bill. For what? If you don't give me what is reading my money, why am I paying?
Right.
Our mumu never do. We go die for this thing until we're ready to take the law into our hands. Nigerians are not ready.
But there are things that you can do without taking the laws into your hands, like the other guy did.
Let's disconnect. Let's leave these people. Tell them to get away from your streets. Walk them out like nobody. Then they will learn to respect you.
Moses, thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it. We can't take any more calls at this juncture. No, we can't take any more calls. But sadly, we have lost Tayo. So what we will do is this. I cannot make any promises because we have not finished this conversation. I will speak with Tayo. He's a very busy guy. I will speak with him if he can give us time again tomorrow to continue to wrap up this conversation. And I can see the calls. I can see the messages. What we did was to try and lay a background. Those backgrounds that you don't know, you didn't even know before now. And we have successfully done that. So now you know the background of our power situation. You know where we started, what we did, and where we are today. So hopefully Tayo will give us his time again tomorrow, and we can come back here tomorrow morning and continue with this conversation. We've not even scratched the surface. Tayo Adegbenle is Executive Director, Power Up NG. You can send him an email, powerup@gmail.com. That's powerup@gmail. I think it's powerupng. Yeah, powerupng@gmail.com. Yeah, that's his email. Send it any complaint that you've got. If you need an assistance in resolving this complaint, please feel free to send him that message. Like I said, it depends. Whatever Tayo sends to me, whatever Tayo tells me, I will bring it up. You can follow me on Twitter to get updates whether I will be able to, especially those that ask questions this morning. You can follow me at Sheriff Quadry on Twitter. I'll be making that announcement if Tayo has enough time for us tomorrow or not. All right. In the meantime, it's time to go on the morning crossfire. I couldn't even play just a minute. Can you imagine? And I've got questions here for just a minute. But we'll play tomorrow. In the meantime, you can join Colin Stecker. He will play it. Joyce will play it as well. Sandra will play it as well. So be on standby. All right, then. In the meantime, Colin Stecker is here for What's Up Lagos. I am Sheriff. I'll be here tomorrow at 5 a.m. Good morning to you, Lagos, and thank you for keeping me company.